Is this close enough?
That's close enough. And good morning to you. Welcome inside the bottom line. Lanny Ford, the professor. Mike Powell along with us.
Thank you.
Glad
to be here.
A little rain overnight. It's a little wet outside this morning. I think it must have just been a sprinkle, nothing to ride home with.
Which we did have some yesterday. We've had a drought all month. A little bit yesterday. I don't think it was enough to ease any drought conditions, however.
No, I think you're right about that.
We got something. Wet the road.
We'll take whatever we can get. We're down just a little bit.
Yeah, right now.
But glad to have you guys with us here this morning. The only high school football cancellation I'm aware of at this moment is Maiden and East Burke, and that is not canceled but postponed, if I'm not mistaken, to the 28th of September.
Okay.
They're going to play it on a Tuesday night and squeeze it in. They've got a game on Friday. They'll play on Tuesday, and then they're going to play homecoming on Saturday night so they can get everything. Jonathan Walker, good morning to you, my friend. Richie, good morning.
Well, we'll be lucky if that's the only one, but that's the only one you've heard of.
That's the only one I've heard of so far. But I know David sent out that list, and I immediately sent back and said, no, go ahead and take Maiden and East Burke off that list because that one's gone.
He did say that. If you have heard of any, please let David know.
Yeah, that goes back. I think I've told you I'm collecting a few pieces here in the studio. I've got some jerseys. I got some signed ones. I got some more stuff. I got a couple wrestler pictures and signatures that I've got. This is my latest acquisition. This is a Dick Butkus. Now, this is not – get back to my camera so I can see what I'm doing. This is not a genuine Chicago Bears, but it's made like a Chicago Bears, okay? But it is a Butkus 51, and if you'll look on the one, that is an authenticated Dick Butkus signature that also says HOF 79. 79. That may not mean a whole lot to some people. It means a great deal to me. I've got another one that's on its way, won't be here till next week, that a lot of people may not remember this, but I've got another jersey. It's an autographed jersey from Joe DeLamalure. Joe DeLamalure now lives in Charlotte. He played with the Charlotte Rage as an older player in the Arena League.
I did not know that.
He went into the Hall of Fame in 2003 as an offensive lineman with the Buffalo Bills. Biggest claim to fame, other than a pretty good career, he was on the offensive line that blocked for O.J. Simpson when O.J. Simpson became the first running back to cross 2,000 yards in a season.
What was that, 72?
You're talking early 70s.
You are.
That's a lot different from what it is now.
I remember.
But that is that's why it meant something to me. I used to have had Joe on before. Joe's been very outspoken about the CTE issues.
Have you had him on this platform or when you were with
ESPN 730?
730.
Yeah. I think he is having some dementia now, and he was a little bit bitter because they didn't do more. And Mike and I were talking about right before we went on the air that there was a settlement for players, retired players, okay? But as we were talking, that the retirement, the settlement, all of that stuff needs to roll through year to year and increase because the money being made now, I mean, there's players making more than franchises made back in the day. And they have forgotten the backs on which that money was built on these former players.
Players in the 60s and 70s.
That are now having health issues, that they didn't have as much stuff to go around.
Right.
And I just think that that's a little sad. I don't like that.
But I haven't read anything about addressing that issue of more payments, more compensation, more payback for what they went through and the health concerns they're having now. But I think it's a great idea.
Bob brings up a great point, too. OJ's record was done in 14 games. That's why you cannot compare players of different eras.
Yeah.
The equipment changes, the schedules change, the amount of playing time, the philosophy, just like pitchers pitching complete games, that'll be unheard of because pitchers just don't do it anymore. So those records won't happen because of the way they've changed it. Thank you, Bob.
Boy, yeah, that's a great point, Bob. I didn't think about it being 14.
And now you're 17 games regular season.
Yeah, but 14 games, O.J. Surpassed the 2,000-yard milestone. I mean, whatever else happened to O.J. that made him turn out like he did, he was a tremendous running back.
There was a conversation yesterday on Dan Patrick that I felt like was very interesting. They were having the discussion of the GOAT in football.
Well, that's all every talk show talks about.
Dan had Chris Collingsworth on, and in Collingsworth's mind, no doubt, it's Tom Brady. And it was Tom Brady not because he's it's the way you classify it. He's not a great athlete, but the accomplishments that he's been able to do in his career is phenomenal. The length of it, you got to take that into consideration. The number of Super Bowls, the yardage, all of these type things. And they were talking. One of the guys said, no, it should be Jim Brown, because Jim Brown, after 9 years, got bored with it and went to become an actor. But if I'm not mistaken, his per-game average is still one of the highest in the league in the shorter time period. Jim Brown. Syracuse, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The analogy to Jim Brown is, of course, the great running back out of that played for the Detroit Lions, whose name escapes me. Help me out here. He retired early after 12 years.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. Mm-hmm. Don't you think their careers parallel a little bit? Tremendous accomplishments, and then just
not very good teams.
Walked away. Yeah, not very good teams. Although Jim did play for some really good Browns teams in the early '60s under George Halas. But they both walked away from football really kind of at the height of their careers.
Only my son would come up with this comment.
What did he say?
Say what you want about O.J., but if nothing else, he was efficient. 2,000 yards in 14 games, 2 murders in one night, guiding you how to get a lot done in a small amount of time.
Good, nice macabre humor.
I like that, Wes. I like that.
He certainly was efficient that night, too.
In time. He was efficient with the time that he had available to do what he needed to accomplish.
He did.
That's a great one. I'll have to put that one down.
You'll have to take him out to dinner.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Here you go. You've already seen the picture, but there you go in case you joined us late. There's my Butkus.
Love it.
And I know because I sent a picture to Juju yesterday about this. He said, now, if you could get one of Lambert, that's 2 of the meanest SOBs there ever was. I said, I got a picture. It'll be here tomorrow. That was yesterday.
It up there.
So
8 by 10.
Yeah, I like that.
Wasn't it the one with he's got his front teeth knocked out?
He lost it. Do you know how he lost those 4 teeth?
I assume in football, but probably something else.
Basketball in high school.
Oh.
He lost those 4 teeth in basketball in high school.
I guess he never thought about maybe. Yeah.
No, he had them. He just didn't play with them.
Yeah,
he didn't play with them. Yeah.
He just
but that was a great look.
It was.
That was just. I mean, he was. I mean, my 3 top linebackers of all time: Butkus, Lambert, and Mike Curtis.
Yeah.
For the Colts.
For toughness.
And I have looked everywhere to see if there's any Mike Curtis memorabilia out there, and there's not. Curtis played at Duke.
Yes,
isn't it right?
Did. He went to Duke. Graduated
from Duke. And the things that he did when he racked up the fan that came and tried to steal the ball, and Curtis' only comment was, you come on my field, you play by my rules.
Exactly.
And I read a book about him, and it tells the many stories. He would get sent in from practice, because he played too hard.
Yeah.
And he would get so mad they would find him in the hot tub, still in full gear with his helmet buckled on.
He was wired differently, but what a player.
Oh, he could play.
Look at this. I love this from
Milton.
Yeah, Milton. Conrad Dobler. He was a mean dude too.
Offensive lineman. He was the meanest, dirtiest lineman ever from everything that I've read.
That's what I've read.
Played for the Cardinals, another one of those teams that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
We had a guy that I played with that was a year younger than I was. He wasn't dirty, but he was a great player. He now works at Lowe's in the paint department in Lincoln. Danny Broadway. Danny was a year younger. He was a running back in earlier years, and they moved him to offensive guard, and he played linebacker. And we used to call him Danny Dobler. That was his nickname.
Dobler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Conrad Dobler. I mean, you get on some of these players, it gets a little.
You talk about the
unbelievable.
greatest linebackers. This is probably even before. I think it may be before my time, although I do remember it. Who was the great linebacker for the Redskins in the '60s? If any of you guys remember,
You're not thinking Chris Hamburger
not thinking Hamburger,
because he was secondary.
Sam Huff.
Sam Huff played at North Carolina.
Yeah, he was a tough dude.
Yeah, he played at North
Sam
Carolina.
Huff.
Sure did.
I can't believe I recalled that.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had a chance.
Well,
at
you
it.
got some other ones out there. Nick Monicani played for that undefeated
Nick
Dolphins
Monicani.
team.
Yep.
And then you can't leave out Lawrence Taylor. Some people argue that he was the greatest player that ever played. Some
Well,
people want to argue that
But
Deion
wasn't he more
Sanders
of an outside hybrid rusher, outside
stand up
linebacker?
in, but
Stand
he
up
was still
in.
an outside linebacker. Was the way he was classified.
Yeah.
As a linebacker.
I'm just thinking.
Bob
right
said
now about
Sam
the
Huff
middle.
was number 70
That's right.
for the old Redskins.
Number 70.
Yep. And then how do you not count Brian Urlacher?
Got to.
I can remember going to see a Panthers game, sitting not many rows as a guest of the Panthers when we were affiliate,
Right.
not many rows off the field in a corner of an end zone. And when you would look out on the field, they were playing Chicago, Urlacher's head would be a head taller than everybody else. And he was a linebacker.
I know.
And he was all over the field.
Mhm.
Sideline to sideline. It did not matter.
He had that lateral movement.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was a phenom.
Yes.
Just an
Biggest
absolute
bust
phenom.
at middle linebacker, the Boz.
There is no doubt about that one.
A legend in college at OU, but who was it?
Two players came through. Well, three players really kind of came through about that same time. Boz did. Tony Mandrich.
Mandrich. He was a bust.
and
out of
where-
Michigan State.
Michigan State played at Green Bay.
Yeah.
It was an absolute bust. I can remember. I can still visualize the picture of him on the cover of Sports Illustrated in college.
I know.
It talked about what he ate, his training regimen, everything.
They can't miss.
Yeah,
Dominant
yeah.
offensive
And then the
lineman.
other player was the kid whose dad programmed him to be a quarterback, Todd Marinovich.
Todd Marinovich.
Marinovich, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Those are. Well, I don't think Boz was the same after, was it Bo Jackson that mowed him over at the goal line?
Welcomed him.
Welcomed him to the NFL. And, of course, Boz went on. He made some movies, action star. He's a legend, but he was a bust in the NFL.
Stacy's a big Chicago fan, so he's going to like that.
Yeah.
He's going to like that Butkus jersey. Scott said Hamburg was a linebacker for North Carolina. I don't know why I was thinking he played in the secondary. And he was a Carolina.
Right.
And he was a Carolina graduate.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know
Scott.
about. Did Huff go to Carolina too? I don't know about that.
Yes.
They both did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. North Carolina Tar Heel graduate.
I
yeah.
do remember Hamburg.
4 brings up Mike Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's another one.
Another great one on that
Yep.
85 Bears defense.
The only thing that keeps Kuechly out, Rich, is longevity of career. You know, some of these, like Lambert, was never predicted to be a starter. And he was dominant for 10 years till he finally had to quit from injury, much like Luke did.
If we're going to talk about middle
Oh,
linebackers.
Nitschke.
Nitschke.
There you
That's
go.
who was
Thanks,
on
Butch.
my mind. Thank you, Butch.
But
Ray
but
Nitschke.
you know the thing that I remember about Nitschke the most is from the Burt Reynolds movie The Longest Yard.
Oh yeah.
That's what I remember him as. That's
Yep.
But yeah, he was another one. He was another one.
Yep.
I want to say he was missing a few teeth too.
Probably was on those great Lombardi Packers teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you can roll down memory lane
Oh,
quickly.
boy.
It doesn't take long.
Yeah,
And as I said, most of the collection stuff that I have in here is they're pieces that have something with me, you know, like this. That might be great for a Clemson fan, but it is for me because teammates and coach.
right.
So that personal connection.
Yeah.
But
Ford. that
and
whole
the
era.
Kevin Green, that was the first autograph piece that I had, and that was too good to pass up. If you ever come up to the shop, you'll see it. the frame is worth what I paid for the whole deal because of the matting behind it, the 3D for K Green, and it's a signed Panther jersey, which was a short career with the Panthers, which to me, that's two things that makes it, kind of special.
Oh, absolutely.
And I've got some other autographed pictures that I've done with wrestlers and stuff, but nobody's going to come in at my passing and say, wow, there's $1 million collection here. No, that's not going to happen. It's just stuff that means something to me.
It's personal mementos that reflect, well, like you say, your high
My
school.
Dwight Clark rookie card.
Yeah.
Just goes another teammate. Bob said Lawrence Taylor has to be mentioned in the top 10 at least. Oh, I agree.
Are you kidding?
I agree, yeah. Butch said he hated Nitschke because he gave the Colts a fit. And see, I've said this. I've only pulled for 3 teams in my entire life. The Colts, the Baltimore Colts, the Johnny Unitas, Tom Maddie, John Mackey, Bubba Smith, Mike Curtis, that range of Baltimore Colts. And then after that, I became a Steelers fan, still a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
And then when the Panthers came online, that became my team. I pulled for the Steelers in all games except the Panther game.
Mm-hmm.
Wes is different. He pulls for the Steelers, period. I guess I taught him well when he was a young man. But, yeah, football is not played like that anymore.
No.
Not played like that anymore.
Yeah,
who would be the greatest linebacker to come through Dallas? Is there one? Nothing jumps out. When I think of Dallas defense, I think of Bob Lilly,
but he was
defensive lineman. Yeah, I'm thinking more Randy White, probably one of the greatest defensive linemen ever.
Yeah.
Came out of Maryland.
Nobody really jumps out at linebacker, but the 2 names you mentioned are the ones I think of.
Because of up front on defense.
Dallas's glory days, but middle linebacker or linebacker, I don't know.
No.
I'm struggling.
You can think about that one a little bit, and I'll take a break. Leroy Jordan. Yeah, there you go. To see, but you're going back, Bob.
Yeah, you're going back.
You're
Leroy Jordan.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But that's a little back in the day there when you start talking about Leroy
that was
Jordan.
the Dallas team that played against Green Bay probably in the '67 Ice Bowl. I imagine Leroy was on that team.
We'll look him up. We'll take a break and we'll be back.
Team that played against.
That hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. We were kicking around a little information here on Joe DeLamalure. Joe played in 185 games, started 178 games. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro. He's on the NFL 1970s All-Decade team. He's in the Cleveland Brown Ring of Honor, played there for 5 years, and the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame. And like I say, started 178 out of 185
Something
games.
else I'm seeing from the Wikipedia entry, Lenny, they call that offensive line the Electric Company.
I saw that. I like that.
I mean, usually it's the defensive lines that get the nicknames, the Steel Curtain, the Wall of Doom, and all that stuff, but the Electric Company.
They led the NFL in 11 categories back in the day, including total offense, rushing average, points, touchdowns, and touchdown passes en route to an 8-6 record. The offensive line also allowed the fewest sacks in the AFC. And it said behind the Electric Company, he achieved the second quadruple crown in 3 years and also had the longest run in NFL. And individually, DeLamalure was named first team All-Pro. And I didn't really know of him until he came to Charlotte. His last bit of football was in 1992. He retired from the Bills in '85. He played for the Charlotte Rage in 1992, which was the arena team.
So he was playing into his 40s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was also inducted into the East-West Shrine Game Hall of Fame in 2007, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2003. He had an argument with Gene Upshaw, the head of the Players Union, about retired players' pensions up until Upshaw's passing in August of 2008. But just a great guy, very, I guess, bitter. He did coach a little bit at Liberty and Duke.
I did not know he had to stop at Duke.
Yes, and I'm trying to think. That would have been from 96 to 2000. That's been such a revolving door. I don't know who that would have been.
When did Spurrier leave Duke for Florida? Was that in the 80s, 89, something like that?
Was it that early?
I don't remember.
The other, I've got the The best trivia question is, who was the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills during the O.J. Simpson days? Give me that one.
Give me a minute. Jack.
One linebacker came up. Said for
he
Dallas
later
is
became
Ken
a
Norton.
politician.
Oh,
help me out, guys.
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Kemp.
Jack Kemp.
Yep.
Was he the quarterback?
I think so.
Okay.
Am I wrong, guys?
Well, Ford calls you the Oracle, so we'll find out.
Yeah, he called me the Oracle.
Yeah.
Oracles predict, prophesy the future.
Yeah.
So,
Butch said,
thank you, Ford.
Jack Hacksaw Reynolds is on that list, hopefully.
Oh,
the
yeah.
time he came out in full uniform at 9 a.m. to play a Super Bowl game, plus he sold a Volkswagen in half in college, hence the nickname.
Didn't he play with some horrific injury in a game and he kept playing? Or I can't remember. Yeah, Jack Hacksaw Reynolds for the Rams was one tough dude. Yeah.
Bullet, Scott Cloninger. Wonder what Bob Hayes' nickname was. It was Bullet Bob Hayes, was it not?
I think it was.
Wasn't it Bullet Bob Hayes?
Mm.
Richie throws out Charles. Yeah, yep. Bob Duckworth said the same thing. The Bullet. Charles Haley.
He was
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
He was good.
Spurrier left Duke in '89, took over Florida in '90.
Okay. I knew it was late '80s. And the rest is history, as they say.
Jack Kemp, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah. Remember, did he get elected to Congress?
He served a pretty good term, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Let me get Greeny here because I had we
Who
got.
was the highest
down a rabbit hole.
elected former athlete? that would be talk about a
From the
trivia
NFL
question. Or any professional league.
Oh, in a professional league.
Yeah. But we've had some congressmen.
Yeah. I was going to say from
Ronald Reagan only played football in the movies.
Yeah, but from an athlete standpoint, Gerald Ford played at Michigan.
That's right.
Yep. And I'm trying to
that
think.
would be the highest you could go.
Yeah.
He was
Jack
president.
Youngblood played with a broken leg in a game for the Rams.
Jack Youngblood. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yep. I'm going to look up Jack Kemp because
he was more than just an electee on the state level. I want to say it was Congress. Yeah. Almost made a run for the president. I think he was like.
Good morning, sir. We're down a rabbit hole, and that's where the problem's coming from. I got you.
Hey. Yep. You hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I was hearing me. That's why I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Greeny joined us from Golf Shop Radio. We were talking. We're down a rabbit hole because I picked up some old jerseys, an autograph Butkus, a Joe DeLamalure autograph jersey, and so we were talking about different players and stuff. And DeLamalure blocked for O.J. Simpson, first player to ever cross 2,000 yards, 14-game season. We were talking about who his quarterback was, and Mike could remember that he was a politician. It was Jack Kemp.
Yeah,
was the quarterback for the Bills, and he actually played 13 years.
Yeah,
in the between the NFL and CFL.
My God, he was Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. He's in the cabinet,
and he was AFL Most Valuable Player in 1965 after leading the Bills to a second consecutive championship in the AFL, not
That's right.
NFL, AFL.
Right.
So I'll ask you the question. We had a question. What's the highest office ever held by a former professional athlete? Got any clues?
This is a tough one. Depends on your age.
By a professional athlete. Wow. Because we know that several presidents have been, college football players. And
yeah. Gerald Ford was the one that came up to mind.
Yeah.
Can't count Ronald Reagan because he played the Gipper in the movies.
Yeah. Scott Cloninger said he's got a Jack Kemp rookie card because he kept hoping he would win the presidency. Kemp was the VP candidate for Bob Dole.
Right.
So that's probably that might be as close as we got.
Yeah.
Now I would say because Kemp Ford was the first one that came to my mind. But did he play professionally?
No, only college.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it would be Jack Kemp.
Yeah.
as close as you get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is, that was just not a mediocre career. I mean, you spend 13 years
Yeah, he had a great
between
career.
the NFL and the Canadian Football League, and you're an MVP inside the league when the two leagues were separate.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
Had
career.
Had a terrific career.
That's a pretty good career. What's going on in your world, sir?
Man, after 10 days off, the PGA Tour's back, right? I mean, the huge break between seasons, a whole 10 days, and it's Ryder Cup, man. The swirling stories of the Ryder Cup. You got Brooks Koepka talking about the importance or lack thereof sometimes of the Ryder Cup, or how hard it is for him to get into a team mode. And then you have Bryson DeChambeau destroying his hands, ripping drivers, getting ready for a long drive competition. So that is the state of our U.S. Ryder Cup squad.
Is DeChambeau the Phil Mickelson of a younger age, where it was just, hell bent to do whatever?
Well,
he seems to always be screwing up.
Well, as much as I don't like Phil, I don't think I'd put Bryson anywhere near Phil's category. Phil had all the talent in the world. He just got overly aggressive too much.
Yeah.
And I think if he had learned to back it down a little bit, I think that he might have won more golf tournaments and more majors. Bryson, Bryson unfortunately still is known for all of the other stuff except winning golf tournaments.
Yes.
At least Phil was known for winning golf tournaments. 40-something wins for Phil. That's epic. Is Bryson ever going to even sniff that? I don't think so. Of course, Koepka came out and said that he believes he can win 15 majors like Tiger did. But his comment was, if I don't believe that, then I shouldn't be out here. So I get where he's coming from on that. That's his statement. That's like Tiger Woods saying, if I show up to a golf tournament, I expect to win. Obviously he won how many golf tournaments, so that statement from Tiger, is that believable? From Brooks, he's 31 years old, has 4 majors. You kind of wonder about that, but at the same concept, if you're not believing that you're going to win the major when you show up, why bother show up?
Well, right now he's just got too much off-the-course stuff going on, I think.
Which one, Brooks or Bryson?
Well, almost both of them, but I think Brooks has more been drug into it, has he not?
Yeah, I think so. Well, he tried to create peace, according to him, and then Bryson brought it back up. So I think at that point his thing was, I'm going to bury Bryson in social media. So and I think he's done a good job of that. And Bryson just, again, I think he's known for all these things. He's known for the physics, making this plan, bulking up, trying to hit it as far as he can. Now we see that he's spending time, he's ripping his hands apart with doing all this practicing, and it's for a long drive competition, which I believe is the week after the Ryder Cup. So it's like, Brooks can say that he has a hard time focusing, but here you go. You got Bryson, on the other hand, who's practicing for something that's not the Ryder Cup, and the Ryder Cup comes first. So, I always thought that our Ryder Cup team was in trouble just from the start. When you start looking at some of these records, I broke it down. Dustin Johnson is a terrible 4-ball partner, which is the best ball, which you would not expect. You'd think Dustin Johnson would be a great, partner in a play-your-own-ball format where, one guy can let it fly and the other guy can, is maybe the consistent guy. But on the flip side, he's great in the alternate shot format. And then you got somebody like Jordan Spieth, who's great in 4-ball and foursomes, and he's 0-6 in singles. And you would not expect that on your life, that Jordan Spieth would not have won an individual match in a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. So there's some interesting things as we get closer to this Ryder Cup from a U.S. perspective.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the U.S. seem to struggle more than the other countries in the Ryder Cup? And is that how do I put this gently? Is this an ego thing that we just struggle because of our egos with our competitors being on the same team?
For me, I think there's a bunch of problems. And I think it stems back to, number one, Paul Azinger's success at putting guys in pods. It worked one time And it really hasn't worked since then. And I think that's an issue for me. I think the second part of this is we put together this whole team picking the captains, and everybody seems to have their hand in it. And I think that was designed to take the ego out of it, but I think it's 100% put more egos back into it. When you look at, the sheer fact that these guys all walked into New York City, I think, recently, and were able to have meetings. And then I think Justin Thomas and was it Xander Schauffele or somebody played a joke on the fans, and they saw that these fans were outside where they were having this meeting. And Justin Thomas walked out and was like, kind of, hey, watch what happens here. And he said, oh, man, it's really interesting that we're putting Phil on this team. And next thing you know, social media is blowing up saying that they're picking Phil. And it was a complete joke. So, are we putting too much stock in everybody's opinion? And I think that's the problem. I think this pod system, everybody's got a say. And now I think, when you look at it, like Bryson DeChambeau's earned a half a point in 2 matches, 1 Ryder Cup and 1 President's Cup. To me, he should never sniff alternate shot because he hits it so dang far offline sometimes. So, you're talking about, so will Steve Stricker, cave under pressure because Brayson's one of the top players on the team? Does he go out and play right out of the gate in a foursomes alternate shot format? And if he does, I think that's a mistake. And I think that's the problem we have on the American side. When you look on the European side, if they don't think somebody should go play a match, they're not playing in a match. And that's the difference.
When you look at it, do they pick the players based on what they feel like their potential of playing golf instead of thinking more about how do they really perform in this totally different situation than just going out and playing a standard round?
And, it's tough. I mean, you want guys that are going to get along with the other players on the team. And we know Patrick Reed was left off this most recent team, but they kind of had an out because he'd just been in the hospital with double pneumonia the week before they had to make the pick. He played in the Tour Championship, but I think he finished, 28th out of 30 guys or something like that. So was his game really in shape? We didn't know how he was going to react. And I'm okay with that. I mean, would I have liked Patrick Reed on the team? Yeah. There was a lot of issue last time. He started complaining. But you know what? Phil Mickelson complained a lot and always seemed to get on the team. So, and Koepka's made no secret that, the Ryder Cup maybe isn't the most important thing to him. Tiger always made that comment. Mm-hmm. But, when you start looking at it, to me it comes down to, can these guys play and how well they're playing? I mean, it shouldn't matter what format you go in. If you're playing well, you're playing well, right? And that's what I've got to look at. Coming into this, if guys are playing well, if you go out and practice and, and Dustin Johnson's not playing well, he should sit. But does, Steve Stricker have the gumption to do that? Is he and I think we've taken it's almost like we've taken the reins out of the captain's hands and the staff's hands and put it amongst the players on the U.S. side, and I think that's still going to be the problem.
I think it comes down to the captain of the team from the American side. Almost to borrow a phrase from Fore, he's worried about hurting feelings instead of making the right decisions for the team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you watch. I mean, if you look at the matches from last time, I mean, the captain's picks hardly played. And then, of course, you got to play in the singles. But, they pretty much have, through history, they've hidden their guys. And, I can't wait to see what happens with Ian Poulter. I mean, Ian Poulter was probably picked just because of his Ryder Cup record, and he seems to elevate his game. Does that mean that if Ian Poulter's not playing well, do we not see him, in the first day? Or because he's such a good putter, do we see him just in the alternate shot format and maybe we don't see him in the 4-ball format? I mean, that's what you look at. Sergio Garcia was a captain's pick. It's going to be interesting to see how the European squad handles, this. I mean, again, the American side. By the way, 6 guys have played Ryder Cups. 6 guys have never played in a Ryder Cup. So there's a lot of inexperience from a Ryder Cup perspective on the U.S. squad.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how they handle that as well. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And if we don't get off to a good start, it may get worse before it even gets close to getting any better.
Yeah, that's the part that concerns me. What you got going on the show tomorrow?
Well, we're going to talk to Mike Haas, the voice of the New Orleans Saints, get a little Saints-Panthers preview. We will catch up with Rex Hoggard, talk about the new season kicking off, and talk a little Ryder Cup with him. And we've also got one of our new sponsors, TPS Ballistic Club Glove. We're going to talk to the CEO of that company. You know, the guys that make luggage. We're going to talk to Jeff Harold from that company.
Okay.
And we'll talk to Bill Bender of the Sporting News as well. So we're going to kind of cover the gambit tomorrow.
Good for you. We appreciate it as always, Greeny. Have a good show. Catch Greeny in the morning, 8 to 10, ESPN 730. Have a good weekend, sir. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks,
you guys
buddy.
Have a good one, too.
See you, man. I'm going to give one update, then we're going to take a break. Bob said Joe Ferguson was the quarterback at Buffalo in 73.
Not
Kemp's
Kemp.
career ended in 69.
Okay.
And Butch,
a decade too soon.
Butch
for me.
may have the highest ranking official that played professional sports, and I'll give that to you in just a minute. We'll take our final time out and come back here in just a moment. And did a little research, and I think Butch may be right.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, and then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Good to have you this morning. Kind of cloudy, overcast today.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get up about 85. It's 69 is what I got.
It's been so humid, maybe.
That we could do without that.
Yeah.
Let me give you Butch's great insight here, Butch. Butch came up with Whizzer White. Byron Whizzer White. I looked him up, and the things that he was involved in, I'm just going to give you a synopsis because we don't have time to go over everything that he did.
You don't.
But he was a professional football player, served as an associate justice of the Supreme Court from 1962 to 1993, one of in the 12 top longest serving. Born and raised in Colorado, played football, basketball, and baseball for the Buffaloes. He finished up runner-up for the Heisman in 1937, drafted in the first round of the Pittsburgh Pirates, now the Pittsburgh Steelers. Had the rushing yardage title in his rookie season, got admitted to Yale Law School, played for the Detroit Lions while still attending law school, went into World War II, served as an intelligence officer in the Navy, made it to the rank of lieutenant commander. He was the Colorado State Chair of the John F. Kennedy 60 presidential campaign. He was replaced by Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, that's historical in its own right.
And when you go down through here, he wrote dissenting opinions in such notable cases as immigration and naturalization, Roe versus Wade, just a lot of things. Just
some historic legislation.
Oh, yes. Tremendous amount. He won the Rhodes Scholar, attended Oxford. That's pretty stout.
Yeah, the
right
only
there.
other college football player that I can think that had similar academic awards, Pat Hayden.
Yes.
He was a Rhodes Scholar out of Southern Cal.
1938, first round, number 4 pick. So that may be your winner there, Butch. There's some others that have made it into.
Does Schwarzenegger count? I mean, I know he's not a Native American, but he was a professional bodybuilder.
Yes, but he was governor.
Governor
of
California. That was his highest office. Yeah.
But you've got some people out here. Gerald Ford is the highest politician, but did not play professionally.
Played collegiately.
He played at Michigan. He was an assistant varsity football coach at Yale.
Right.
And junior varsity head coach for Yale as well. I didn't know. Did you know Tony Gonzalez? Anthony Gonzalez? Is that not Tony Gonzalez? Is there a different one?
Yeah, the tight end, the great tight end that played for.
Did he play at Ohio State, Indianapolis, and the Patriots? That's not the same
not
one.
The one I'm thinking about.
Not me either.
I'm thinking about the one that played for Kansas City and then the Falcons.
That's right. Yep. That's different. I saw this. Walter Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, baseball. He served in the House of Representatives for Maryland. Of course, Jack Kemp, Steve Largent. Wide receiver, Hall of Fame wide receiver for Seattle, House of Representatives, and was also a nominee for governor.
There was a running back or quarterback out of Oklahoma that I think made it to Congress. JJ, can't think of his last name.
How about Tommy McMillan? We forgot about him, played at Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
House of Representative member.
Absolutely.
Tom Osborne, he was a member of the House of Representatives. Alan Page became an associate justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. Yeah. Played for the Purple People Eaters back in the Viking days.
Yeah, Vikings.
All of those. Heath Shuler, local guy, was a North Carolina congressman.
He was.
Played for Tennessee, the Saints, and the Raiders. That was another one that was kind of a bust.
He was. Professionally, but a great college player.
Tommy Tuberville, he is a current senator.
That's right.
And he did not play professional football, but just his coaching career.
Yeah.
How about Jesse the Body Ventura? He was governor of Minnesota. There's another one.
I loved him when he was governor.
Are you thinking of J.C. Watts?
J.C. Watts.
J.C. Watts played for Oklahoma and the Ottawa Rough Riders.
Ran that wishbone.
Yep. He was a member of the House out of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's nice to see things like that.
It is.
I mean, that's.
And we've had quite a few.
Yes, we have.
Professional athletes
yes,
who've gone on to elective office.
Richie said Eisenhower played football at West Point.
Okay.
And Butch said he was a classic. He said, I did a paper on him in criminal law class in college, Heisman runner-up in 37. Yep. Travis, I know you're ready to get home, but he's been in Louisiana for 20 days. He's a lineman helping clean up the mess that's going on down there.
Wow.
Hope everything's okay. You just be careful out there, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into just a couple of sports games. Washington defeated New York last night. You said last 5 seconds kicked the field goal.
Yeah, back and forth game. One of the best games we've had in the early season. I'd have to put it right up there with that Tampa Bay Dallas game that kicked everything off.
Right.
A lot of big plays. Danny Dimes played very well, even though he didn't win. He rushed for 95 yards in addition to his passing. One big play, though.
He was your leading rusher. That's not good.
Yeah,
we know how that turns out for Cam.
Saquon Barkley, not so much. They say he's still working his way back from an injury that kept him out all last season. I just wonder, the shelf life of running backs. Is Saquon, will he ever be what he was his rookie year again?
He got paid, did he not?
I guess he got paid.
It just seems like once they get paid, it just takes some of the fire out or something.
Does. Yeah, terrific game. Back again, as I said, back and forth. Giants were up 29-27, but Taylor Heineke in the last minute of play, classic 2-minute drill. He got them the Washington football team down into field goal range. And get this, Lanny, to make it even worse and harder to swallow for the Giants, the Washington kicker missed the first field goal attempt wide right, but one of the defensive linemen for the Giants was offside. Gets another chance, boots it through. 5 seconds to go, 30-29, Washington wins.
Do you like the change they made for extra points, that it's not just a gimme now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's a whole lot better. Taylor Heineke was your leading quarterback, not Danny Dimes.
Okay.
Daniel Jones went 22 of 32 for 249, 1 touchdown.
Yeah. Could have had 2.
Heineke went 34 of 46, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Heineke is not a bad quarterback.
No.
He's I don't know that he's a quote-unquote franchise quarterback that can take the team on his back, but I think he's a very efficient field manager, and he's a quarterback that would work inside of a Ron Rivera system. Now, and I'll throw this out. The beard is down for about 6 weeks. They've got Heineke. Ron Rivera had the opportunity to take Cam or Heineke and took Heineke. Does he pick up Cam now? I don't think so. I think he's satisfied. Seen enough with Taylor Heineke.
Heineke proved last night he can
play.
Bring a team back and win a football game, and you still got the beard. He'll be back at some point, so I think Washington's going to be okay at quarterback.
And I keep saying again, if Taylor Heineke can continue at this level, the beard may be the backup.
Well,
I think he's going to have to slip to be replaced.
I agree.
Now, if they go into a losing skid, then that would be different. But there's a win in the division right there to get you started.
Mm-hmm. Huge game last night.
Yeah.
We know what the beard can bring, but he's had his 450-yard passing games, but he's also had his 4 interceptions.
That's right. Yeah.
Passing game.
Yeah. Richie said that made the Giants start 0-2 for the 8th time in 9 seasons.
Shows you how far they slid.
And the New York Giants are supposed to be one of the most stable, non-dysfunctional franchises in the league with ownership, all that kind of thing.
That's true. Kind of like Pittsburgh.
That's correct. Richie said bonehead penalties, especially one on Young. And Milton said the same thing. Said Chase Young got a bad roughing early in the game, led to a Giant TD.
I take it he didn't agree since the acronym BS, right?
Yeah. Bob said it's Heineke's first pro victory, been in the league since 2015. I liked him when he was at Carolina. I did. Yeah. I just thought he – kind of like Sam Darnold at New York, he never had a chance with what he had to work around him. He had some really good receivers, but not nearly enough time to make anything happen.
It was the O-line.
The New York Giants don't have a bad defense, and he put up 336 yards. That's a pretty good night for him, or I think it is.
Are the Giants done in the division already? You can't say that. You got it's a longer season, 17 games. So.
Take the division. Who else is going to finish in the bottom?
Well, I don't know. Dallas.
Who you got? You got Washington, Dallas.
The Eagles.
Well, the Eagles may give them a run for last place.
Although the Eagles came out and
they
let
me
great.
down. They let me down. Yeah, they won. That was not the way that was supposed to go.
I hear you.
No. All right, we're going to bop out of here. Have a great day. Boys will be back in the morning 8 to 10.
And we will be back this time.
You'll be back this time. They
yes.
fudged on me last week.
I didn't
that's okay.
fudge, but yeah,
I know.
You're right.
They'll be back. Yep. Have a great day. Maiden, East Burke, no game tonight. That's the only one we know of at this time that has been postponed or canceled. But I would keep a check because it's liable to change as the day goes on. Have a great day. I'll see you again on Monday.